Hi everyone, today we're going to learn how to do a cute rainbow unicorn. So we're going to do a rainbow background. So I'm going to get my sponge, spray it slightly. We don't want to overspray the sponge, so we don't want too much paint or water on our sponge to start with. Okay, otherwise it's just going to bleed everywhere, and we've got just the right amount of water so that we can pick up all of the colours of this really pretty rainbow cake. So this rainbow cake is by Tag. It's called Sunset and it's super pretty on. When you're loading your sponges, try to go for a real sticky consistency. I always like to check on my hand to see if it's too runny. So when we're doing this design, I like to create a nice little rainbow. Sometimes I need to squeeze the sponge to fit on the child's head. So you may not always need to use the whole sponge. Sometimes they're a bit too big for the child's face. So I like to just give it a nice pinch and tap it onto the child's face. So when we're sponging, we tap to get all of those colours in. Now, because I am pinching it, I also need to make sure that there's the middle colours are coming out, which is the orange in this case. So I'll just press that one in and then make sure that you get the corner of your sponge and apply all of the last colours there that we have right down the bottom. So now we have this really pretty rainbow that's going to really make our unicorn pop. So the unicorn's going to go right in the middle here. So on a real child's face, this will have applied very nicely. You might see that it's a little bit wet, but this is a practice head, so sometimes it is wetter than normal, but normally it does come on quite nice on a child's head. So there you have it. There's the base. I'm going to load some WOLFE white paint and make sure that I've got a nice creamy consistency of paint on my brush, and twist the brush to get a nice little point there as we're pulling out of the paint. So another reason why we don't want our sponges to be too wet is because we need this base to dry in order to start painting our unicorn on it. So making sure that, we don't overload our sponges. So just testing that the paint isn't too runny as well. When I'm face painting on the job, I've got so many little blobs and things up my arm. It's not funny. Sometimes I have to baby wipe them out because it just gets a little bit too overcrowded on my hand. Okay, so nice and easy. We're going to draw a circle like this. Okay, and then we're going to complete it by doing the horses. And drawing the ear, so lifting up. Quite a big ear there that the horse has, so I'll just make his head a little bit bigger there so it doesn't look too big. And now for the unicorn horn. Now I'm using a number 6 round brush for this, making sure that the unicorn horn starts between the muzzle and the actual head here. Just thick to thin. Nice and easy. Make sure that blending all of that, getting a nice coverage of white as a basis for our unicorn face. Now with the number 4 round brush, I've loaded some turquoise, and I'm going to start the base of the ear, and I'm going to do a flick out under the horn, so thick to thin, and lifting our brush up, and that's going to create a cute little front bit of the mane. And then starting for the rest of the mane over here, and at the base of the ear, pressing right down and twisting the brush to get as much paint as you can, and then lifting it back up when we get to the point to create a nice point. Now, what I also like to do here is create some nice flicks in. So flicking the paint in, and some more, and another one here. And there we have our lovely base for our unicorn face. So we've got the mane on, and now what we need to do is just complete it with the eyes. Now for the eye, I am loading a number 0 round brush, making sure that it's nice and loaded. We're going to start the eye right where the unicorn horn starts in a diagonal here. We're going to do a measurement, so we start the eye there. And we're going to do a flick up, and then we're going to, by doing a U up. I like to give my unicorn some eyelashes. And a little curve just up there. So now we've got a little bit of turquoise. I'm just going to fill the eye in with some turquoise. Okay, now at this stage we want to give the unicorn horn some nice little curls. So just some backward C's just to go along there, and then giving the unicorn a nice smile and outlining the face. And then once we have that, we can get on to putting some stars on the side and some glitter. To add some stars, I'm going to grab my stencil and flip it over to where the lovely part, the stars are. And I'm going to grab my sponge that's loaded lightly. We don't want to overload it with water or paint. And I'm just going to pat the paint in like that, making sure that your stencil is nice and steady while you're doing this. Lifting off, and you have a couple of lovely stars. And on the other side, making sure that the stencil is nice and steady and that you haven't overloaded your sponge with too much water or paint, because what happens there is they do start to bleed into the bottom of the stencil, then it just causes a big blob there. And now just for the finishing touches, I'm just going to do some cute little spots around just to create some lovely interest and some stars. Just some diagonal little stars there, just to create some cuteness. Just flicking your brush along, doing one along here. These I call sparkle stars because they look like they're shimmering. I'll do one on the mane. And some nice little dots. A cluster of dots like this really adds a really pretty whimsical touch to designs and can really make it look really pretty. So while our brush is still loaded with white, I like to just highlight the hair as well, just to add some extra dimension and do the mane. And there we have it. We have a cute unicorn that's super easy to master with a bit of practice. You can go all out here and add some curls and swirls, or add some extra little features that you might want to add just to give it some nice sort of just some nice little whimsical efforts there. But I mean, look, a child would be completely happy with this design, so I would just leave it at that. Spray some glitter over it maybe, and there you have it, a lovely unicorn. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.